If you get a skin fade and want to keep it looking good, then you'll have to be back in about 1 to 2 weeks, which is fine if you got time and money like that. If you're looking for longevity, a short lived-in scissor cut might be a better option. For this one, I started on the side in vertical sections. I started where the hair is dense and uninterrupted by the hairline, so that way I get a really clean guide and then I can move in sections towards the hairline, and I'll be able to see what I'm doing the whole time. Speaking of hairline, one of the reasons why a fade doesn't last as long is because the hairline is totally exposed, so anything that grows underneath it will be completely visible once it starts growing back. When your hair is long enough to cover the natural hairline even just a little bit, then the hairs that grow outside of the hairline will either be covered or they will at least stand out a lot less. That's why a haircut like this can grow out for 2, sometimes even 3 months. And it'll look like you just intentionally choose a longer hairstyle rather than looking like you just went a while without a haircut. Also, since the hair isn't going to be cut completely uniform like it would be with clippers, it will grow out a lot softer and have a lot more movement to it. But as I'm moving on to the back, I'm sectioning off the crown so that I can over direct all of that later to build up a little more weight for the shape that I want. And then I find my guide on my diagonal back sections and I cut on a flat plane. So that way, as I get further down the section, my fingers are further away from the head, creating a little bit of layering. I just want it a little bit longer towards the bottom to get a little bit of softness and wispiness. And then I'll just slightly over direct each section to the previous section. And once I've done this all the way around on both sides, I'll move on to the crown. The only difference in the crown area is that I will over direct everything to the same point to build up more weight, which I alluded to earlier. And again, I will go around the head from both sides. And then once I'm finished, I will move on to the top, do a middle part, and connect the top to the sides with my razor. And I chose to follow that guide all the way through to create my length for the fringe. And then I'll go ahead and comb the top into a mohawk section. In this case, making sure a good chunk of the fringe falls out before I choose my guide to maintain more density in this area. And then I will comb that guide to either side and do square layers with horizontal sections. After that, we'll finish up the wet cutting portion by refining the outline with my styling razor where needed. I want structure, but I also want softness, so this is a good choice. And then I'll finish up by using some matte paste and drying with my diffuser. And once it's dry, I'll see where it needs to be touched up or where some weight needs to come out with some point cutting. And because we'll be taking pictures after, I'll hit it with some hairspray to lock in the look that I want. And then that'll be it. Now that it's all finished, I will show you my client Parker before, and here he is after. This was actually filmed on July 30th, about a month and a half ago, and I ran into him the other day and he just lets it be messy and it still looks awesome. So he let me take another picture that I'll put at the end of this video for a comparison. Let me know what you think in the comments. Go to nagamakishears.com if you want to check out the scissors I'm using. I'm using the Nagamaki 6-inch in this video. And I'll get out of your hair now.